Second down, Ryan escapes, gonna run, has some room and a touchdown. The Atlanta Falcons, NFC champions.
That's his third down conversion. Back to him they go. The flea flicker, Brady to the end zone, and it's a New England touchdown.
It's going to take a great game by Atlanta to beat this team.
How's it going, guys? I'm KTO. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my playoff predictions have been on point. And as I predicted, we have the Falcons and the Patriots. I've been thinking about this game since before the playoffs, and what a great matchup it is. I seriously think we could have one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. And you better be coming to join me on FireFan for the Super Bowl. When you play, you'll be entered into a contest to win a brand new Nissan Altima. I'll put a link in the description for the download, but if you already have the app, I'll put a link in the description as well for the game. And here are the winners from the last 2 weeks. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Akiva Itzowitz, Mike Donner, Alan Gonzalez, Marcus Baca, Aiden K, and Jack Stitman. Congratulations to all of you. Now let's dive into the video. We have a legendary matchup. High-octane offense versus the two Bs, Belichick and Brady. You have proven success versus the unproven. Legacy versus ambiguity. I hope you realize how great of a matchup we have bestowed upon us. To explain this further, let's just look at these two teams. First up, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna be honest, this is the best offense I've seen in a long time. They're literally the second coming of the greatest show on turf in 1999. The similarities are uncanny, and I've talked about this in a previous video. They are averaging 40 points a game this playoffs. Here's how the Falcons have become a juggernaut. Look, obviously guys like Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and the dual threat backfield have been unbelievable. But to me, here are the difference makers in this offense. 1, their added arsenal of weapons in the receiving corps. 2, the additions on the offensive line. And 3rd, the biggest reason of all, their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan. To go into more depth, starting with the receiving corps, the additions of Mohamed Sanu and Taylor Gabriel have made Matt Ryan a happy camper. These two are the icing on the cake. With this offense playing lights out, there seems to be players open every single play, which makes Matt Ryan's job much easier. And then the second reason is their offensive line. They added center Alex Mack. And for me, this is actually kind of a sour spot because they picked him up from my team, the Cleveland Browns. And just so you can understand the impact of Alex Mack, the Browns are the worst offensive line in the league this season, giving up the most sacks, leading them to having multiple injuries at quarterback. And they still have Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. But with bringing Mack in, Atlanta can literally do everything. They could always pass the ball, but they had the 18th best rush offense in 2015. This year, they're 5th. And last year, they were 21st in total points per game. This year, they are the best in the NFL. And you better believe Alex Mack is a big part of that newfound success. With all these additions to the offense, it all starts with the man behind the clipboard. Their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, is the best coordinator in football. When RG3 was the Rookie of the Year, he was his coach. He was also the Browns offensive coordinator in 2014, which led them to their best record in almost a decade. And now, he's coaching the best offense in football. His offensive schemes and concepts are stunning. He gets guys wide open on almost every single play. Matt Ryan is a legit MVP candidate and playing the best football of his career. You can thank Kyle Shanahan for putting him over the edge. Now this offensive firepower is amazing, but with the addition of one of the more underrated defenses in the league, this makes them Super Bowl contenders. Just to prove my point, look at the Saints this year. They had a great offense. How far did they make it? Now to come back to the Falcons defense, Vic Beasley led the league in sacks. Keanu Neal lights people up. And this defense overall is just fast and flies around. They just did the best job of containing Aaron Rodgers of any team in the playoffs, holding that offense to 21 points, which one of those touchdowns was kind of a garbage time touchdown anyway. But now, we move on to the opposite locker room, the New England Patriots. Growing up as a football fan of the Cleveland Browns, I've seen countless quarterbacks and coaches come and go. But Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have been the only constants in this incredible dynasty dating back to the early 2000s. The only question that hasn't been answered about this legendary duo is when will it end? To dive into this team more, this is the most well-coached team in the NFL. You wouldn't start the season 3-1 with a backup and third-string quarterback without great coaching. No one makes adjustments better than the Patriots. They adjust on the fly, from game to game, and even half by half. How many times are we going to see the Patriots look like they can't do much in the first half, only to come out in the second half and dominate? They did it against Houston early in the playoffs. How many teams can play horrible most of the game like they did against Houston and still win by almost 20? Then to dive into actual personnel, how often do you see a team line up not 1, not 2, but 3 white wide receivers and completely shred the defense? They don't even have Gronkowski, and they scored 34 points against the best defense in the playoffs. Then stat-wise, they are a dominant defense. They have given up the least amount of points per game in the entire NFL this season, and they have the 3rd best turnover differential in the league. This team isn't made of a bunch of stars. They just have a collection of solid pieces, and the Steelers had their way running the ball against teams all year. And against the Patriots, they had only 50 yards. There's so many strengths to this team, and hardly any weaknesses. Now we have previewed both teams. Here's what really makes this matchup intriguing. 2 numbers, 33.8 and 15.6. That's Atlanta's scored points per game versus the Patriots given up points per game. Literally the best offense versus the best defense points-wise. So far, no one has stopped the Falcons' offense all playoffs long. Will the Patriots' defense be their kryptonite? It is time for Matt Ryan to prove himself. He's been great all season long, but he's never been on this stage before. This team hasn't either. This will be the Falcons' 2nd Super Bowl appearance ever. And on the other side of the spectrum, this is the Patriots' 9th Super Bowl appearance. And this will be Brady's 7th, the most of all time for any quarterback. This Super Bowl could be the defining Super Bowl for Tom Brady's career. The win that sets him over the edge as the greatest of all time. But if he loses, it could be exactly what Brady haters are looking for to put the greatest quarterback argument to rest. If you can't tell, a lot is on the line for Tom Brady's legacy. If he wins, he has the most Super Bowl victories of all time. No matter what you think about Tom Brady, that's legendary status. This game is great on that note alone, but the Falcons still have their story. To keep it simple, Matt Ryan has been known to be a poor performing quarterback in the playoffs over his career, which has led a lot of people to keep him out of that conversation of elite quarterbacks. This win could be his ticket into that party, especially if he can outduel Tom Brady. Not to mention, if they win, this will be the Falcons' 1st Super Bowl win ever, which is a huge deal. The city of Atlanta has been waiting for this for a long time, even in recent memory with Michael Vick in the early 2000s. That city will go berserk if they win, not to mention Falcons fans everywhere. What a special moment. Both of these teams dominated in the conference championships, and with how well coached these teams have proven to be, this is what football is all about. Thank you for checking out this video, and don't forget to join me on FireFan. Also, we are almost at 10,000 subs. Let's get to that number as soon as possible. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on my next video.